Hello, boys and girls of internet world. J-Bo here with hopefully a cool review of sorts. It's not a full in-depth review, and I'll start off by saying that I am not very familiar with AR formats, rifles, but this was really fun to shoot. This is the Panther Arms DPMS. I believe it is the LR-308. A little bit of research online done by my brother says that this is a Gen 1 before they sold the company to, I believe, Palmetto. Sold the rights to this rifle, I should say. But anyway, that being said, this is a 308, really excellent round, which is the 7.62 by 51 NATO round. And I was expecting the NATO round to have a higher pressure than the 308, but apparently the 308 Remington does, from what I read. So with that, this stock that's on here does not look like the stock one, but this is a fantastic stock. It was fun to shoot. It says Luthar, L-U-T-H-A-R, Luthar. They have a website. They make all kinds of products. They make ones that are adjustable, and this one is adjustable, but it's fixed. So you adjust it the way you want it, and then go with that. You have these hex screws right here. You can adjust the G-crest. Has knobs on the other side to tighten or loosen by hand. So there's nothing surprising here other than it doesn't have the forward assist, which the original AR design didn't have one. The military requested one. And it's well documented online that Stoner had insisted that, you know, if you use the correct ammo and the correct powder and the correct this and the correct that, you shouldn't need one. So this functioned flawlessly. There was one round that was a jam up, but it was the last round in the magazine, and this is a used Pro Mag magazine. So you know how that goes with Pro Mag. I don't know how old this is. My brother said this was in the used bin at the local shop because he needed a magazine. Came with this one, 5-round magazine. The store had sold my brother a box magazine, Springfield Armory one, but it turns out it was for the M1A 308 caliber and wouldn't fit in here, which would be normal. So anyway, some flip-up sights were ordered, and stuck a Sig Sauer Romeo MSR red dot on here. Haven't sighted it yet. This is a 2 MOA red dot, and from what I read, if you're going to snipe 400 or 600 yards or whatever, you would need like a 1/4 inch MOA. So we don't shoot that far anyway. Typically, most of the time, I think the furthest we can shoot where we go is 180 yards. So the 2 MOA red dot will probably suffice. I actually have a couple of carbines that I have budget red dots on that work just fine at 100 yards. I have no issues. So you definitely don't want your red dot to cover up what you're shooting at, is the point. But there was a scope on this, kind of a $180 scope. I forget the brand. It was nothing special. It loosened up while we were shooting. And they also had a bipod on here. So somebody was using this before for bench shooting. And as you can see, it's really not very used at all. I could use a wiping down with an oil rag, actually. But I did notice it does like the Mini 14s do. The shell casing kicks off here. That will come off. That is just brass. That is actually just brass from the shell casing hitting here when it kicks out. So the shell casing comes out, kicks off here, and flies off. It happens so quick that if you film it and go frame by frame, you'll actually see that. So again, there's nothing special here as far as the AR format goes. You have your bolt lock here, you have your safety, and you have your T-handle. You know, there's no gate here. There's no forward assist thing. There's nothing. And what was really cool is we shot about 70 rounds with this. You could smell the heat coming off the barrel. And this was completely cool to the touch. So this did what it was designed to do. And everything was great with this. We were shooting off the hood of a truck, which you will see at the end of this video. There is a shooting video of sorts. It was not the best shooting conditions. We were actually standing in mud because we had heavy rain the night before. It was not very conducive, as the bolt just closed there because I must have touched the bolt release when I flipped it over. But anyway, it was very accurate, only shooting at 100 yards. You'll see that in the video, more or less, because we take a walk up and look at a tree branch, a little tree that was growing out of the ground on the hillside, probably 110, 120 yards maybe. And that was all beat up along the bottom. We didn't hit the tree itself, but you could see where the shots hit underneath the tree. And you can also see the ones that missed it because the scope was starting to loosen up. So you take one shot, it would go off to the left, and then the scope would settle where it was supposed to be, and then you would put the shot on the tree, and then you'd miss again, like way off to the side, because the scope was literally rocking on top of the rail. But that being said, all around, this is a great functioning rifle. We shot 70 rounds of soft points. It functioned flawlessly. And I have to say, with this stock on here, there was not much recoil. There really wasn't. I wasn't wearing my regular shooting vest with a padded shoulder. I had just a shirt with a hoodie on it, and it was fine. It actually, to me, felt less than shooting a shotgun. And it was really good. So my brother did order some flip-up sights that will be coming. We'll install those and get everything sighted. And there's different things you can do with this that are normal for the AR format, like these two holes right here. You can actually mount a sling loop or some other thing. You know, that's what's really cool about the AR format, is you can really, as you know, because you probably own them, you can customize these like in ridiculous amount of ways. So there was a little rubber plug in the grip here that fell out somewhere. It's gone. It's gone forever. And but I'm sure those are dime a dozen interchangeable. And like I said, I'm not really familiar with the AR format, so I don't know what type of grip that is. You know, I don't know all that terminology. And as I always say on this channel, you know, a lot of times I'm learning like you guys are. I'm certainly not an expert in this. If we were talking about Ruger Minis or something like that, that's a little different. But, you know, lever action rifles, for example, I do my own repairs on those. Disassembling the bolt, knocking the pins out, replacing the firing pins, that sort of thing. So these really, I've never taken an AR format rifle apart. I don't even know how this disassembles. So, you know, it's one of those things. It's the main reason why we decided to get an AR format rifle is because it was 308. As far as the 223 and 5.56 NATO, the Ruger Minis are absolutely perfect, wonderful. So it's kind of like a taste thing. I really like the Ruger Minis performance. There's no issues. All ammo functions in it. You can shoot steel case. You can shoot everything in it. And these can be a little more fussy with regard to old military steel case surplus with the lacquers on them. And what happens is it gets hot in the chamber, obviously, and the lacquer softens. And the problem really comes from after it cools, because after the lacquer cools, then it becomes like this really hard stuff to clean and get rid of, and you actually change your chambering with that little thickness, because the tolerances are so perfect that any little residue, like not cleaning your rifle often enough, or not lubricated enough, or even if you over lubricate it, if you spray lubrication in there, sometimes that's enough with high-end rifles, like a better rifle like this one, well, that will actually change chamber pressures in there and increase the pressures. And most manuals will actually tell you that, not to over lubricate inside where the bolt is. So read your manual, it's really important. And a 308 round is no joke. Usually they're well over 2,000 feet per second, depending on what you buy. I think I saw some listed for 2,400 feet per second. And I noticed a lot of the ammo available for this is affordable, available. It was available during the pandemic. It was one of the few calibers that was. It's almost like the forgotten round. And it's been around since 1952, I think I read, or the 1950s somewhere. And it's tried and true. And the only reason why NATO switched to the 5.56 NATO, it wasn't because of power or anything special that the bullet does. It was the weight of the bullets, the ammo, for soldiers carrying it. The 308 ammo, if you're carrying a whole bunch of it in magazines, is very heavy. And a lot of these guys are already wearing rucksacks with all kinds of stuff in it. You're carrying 50, 100 pounds extra. So the extra ammo was just added weight. So it was one of those factoring decisions in that, from what I read. So it has nothing to do with 223 and 5.56 being magic bullets that should be banned and taken away from citizens. It's actually, a 308 is a more effective round, really, in my opinion. It's not as much velocity as the 5.56, but it's a tried and true and combat tested round, and it's no joke. So anyway, I guess that's enough for that. There's really, like I said, there's not really a whole lot to talk about. So watch the video at the end of this. I think you will enjoy it. It's kind of haphazard. It's not a very well organized video. I'll try to do some good editing for it to make it flow. But we had a loose scope. We had, first time we ever shot it, we had mud we were standing in. So there was certain issues with certain things. So including adjusting the scope, and the scope was actually loose and moving. So when you adjusted it, it actually unadjusted it. And so more or less. But anyway, that's gone. We got a red dot on here. I'll try to make a new video as an update kind of thing. And I guess that's about all. We get high capacity steel box magazines. That'd probably be a 20 round, I would think. So this here is a 5 round, 10 round. Well, I don't know what magazine options there are available. This is a 10 round, I believe. So I guess with that, that's about all we have to discuss. I don't know if the mag release is reversible. It works really well. It doesn't look like it's reversible. But everything works like it should. Fantastic rifle. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. And this is a high quality, excellent piece of machinery. And thank you for watching. Enjoy the shooting video. Well, this is where we're going to sight the new Panther Arms 308 AR-10. We're going to shoot at a 12-inch target. We wanted to put it down there, so it would be 108 yards, but it's all flooded. So we're going to have to stick it here and stand further back. Right over the top of it.
Yeah, and that was aiming for the center. Well, I'm going to shoot another one in case I flinched. I'm going to aim for the bottom. Yeah, so I got to come up.
Come down.
Down.
You're shooting high.
No, I'm shooting. Yeah. Try that. 16 clicks. Windage was good. Scope's in the way, I know. Shot good though. Light popped loose.
Yep. Well, I'll just do this old-fashioned way. Where was that?
I couldn't tell.
Well, those look pretty good. Shooting offhand. Safety on.
Jerk the trigger though. Exactly where I aimed. It was a good trigger squeeze. Finish the match. Take the bipod off it if you want.
It's all right. I'm about 2 inches over to the left from where I'm aiming, but that's just me. You're obviously different. I picked a spot with paint that ain't been touched yet, and I put 2 right on the very, very left edge of that.
I just moved it over 2 clicks. We were hitting right. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, I was shooting offhand. I didn't use the pod. This is much steadier. I'm gonna aim dead center. No, that's good. That's what you were doing. Scope's all loose. Well, shots you took were off to the left, and I think that's when the scope was loose. Yeah, whoever owned that didn't shoot that. They really didn't.
It's really not a gun you're gonna shoot a lot in.
Nope. It's just for home defense and bowling alleys.
They got the ground good all the way around it. I don't think we hit it once.
I was hitting in here.
Yeah.
I saw these hits. I was aiming for the bottom of it, and that's where I was hitting. So some of them, I don't know if these,
with a scope loosened.
I don't know if these are through like this or if they came this way. I think
Yeah, they were coming straight in this way. So. Yeah.
I mean, that's like right behind the tree.
Coming straight in. When we first got here, we had to hit that. It was loosening up.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the ones I took, I saw I was hitting at the bottom there. I was aiming right at the base.
I think early on, when you said it was hitting left and then you shot another one and it wasn't,
Right?
I think it was loosening then.
There's a couple of yours you took that I saw go to the left. So that definitely loosened up.
I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm jerking the trigger like it felt like a good trigger squeeze.
Well, the other issue I had with that scope is it's easy to noodle with.